Hello everyone, I'm Bearadactyl, and today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on how to mod Risk of Rain 2. Now I'm going to preface this by saying this is going to be the easy mode tutorial, and it's not going to be showing you how to manually install mods or deal with that mess. Though if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll go ahead and make another video about manually installing mods, because I know there's a variety of reasons for why people might want to do that. Anyway, before I waste any more of your time, let's get started. Open up whatever web browser that you have. I use Brave, and you're going to go to thunderstore.io. Now, this website is basically the home base of Risk of Rain 2 mods. It has the mod manager we'll be using, and the required mods to actually mod the game to begin with. So go to R2 Modman. Now, this mod manager does not just work with Risk of Rain 2. It works with other games like Valheim would be a good popular one. So some of this tutorial will also apply to that, at least the basics of it. But anyway, we're going to manually download it. And since I already have a copy, I'm just going to overwrite it. Whatever. Now that we've got it downloaded, we'll go ahead and open up the zip file. You can use any archive software you prefer. I actually recommend 7-zip over WinRAR. The only reason I'm using WinRAR is because it's a bad habit and I'm familiar with it. But 7-zip is leagues better and less finicky, and probably overall less likely to break your files if you regularly archive and unarchive things. But anyway, you can do one of two things from this point on. You can either run the setup file directly from the zip, which is what I do, or you can extract all this to a folder and drop it in your desktop, your documents folder, whatever, and do it from there. Anyway, just open it up, and it should be a regular installation wizard like this. Now, I'm not going to walk you through installing it, because it's like any other piece of software, and I hope if you're modding your Risk of Rain 2 game, that you know how to install software on your computer at this point. So anyway, we'll close these out, and you'll find wherever you've installed it, whether you put a desktop shortcut, whatever. Open up R2 Modman. Sometimes it'll take a minute to launch. Alright, so once you get here, you can select whatever game you want. You can also do modded server things here. I don't mess with this because I just use Steam. But anyway, so there's a handful of things you should be aware of, like obviously all the other games you can use. And if you select a game that has multiple handlers like Steam, the Epic Store, things along those lines, this mod manager will prompt you to select the one that manages the game. There'll be a little drop-down menu with dots. You click the dot, hit OK. Risk of Rain 2, I don't think has that issue, or at least hasn't for me, so just go ahead and select it. I do not recommend setting a game as default, because if you set a game as default, you will go straight to this page every time you launch the mod manager, and if you plan on using the mod manager for other games, that's obviously inconvenient. So you will always start with a default profile, and if you have other profiles like mine, Risk of Rain 2 with the homies, you can load that. But let's go ahead and do Create New. So, Tutorial. And then select Profile. From here, you'll have nothing because, well, no mods are installed. There's two ways you can go about this. Way 1, you can use the mod manager. Go online, and, well, here it is. The required mods will be pinned: Risk of Rain 2 API and BepInEx. I recommend doing BepInEx first. Or you can do API, but anyway. BepInEx. Download. And download with dependencies. And that's why the mod manager is great. Because if a mod has a dependency, it will download that alongside the mod. So go to R2 API and do the same. Download with dependencies. And then go to installed, and they're all here. Now, the reason that this could be a bad idea is sometimes if you download dependencies and they reference a specific version, it can be an out-of-date version of the dependency. But the mod manager should let you know if you have out-of-date mods, and you should be able to update them if they're out of date. If you want to know how to manually do it, just go to Settings. And then from Settings, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and click Update All Mods. And any mod that needs to be updated, it will update automatically. Alright, now for the second way, you just go back to thunderstore.io in your web browser. It's more or less the same, just with a few extra steps. You can click the 3 dots right here to pull up categories. So again, we'll go to player characters and search. And from here, we'll just click, I don't know, Enforcer. Then you'll go down to Install with Mod Manager this time. You'll get a brief pop-up like that. Go back to the Mod Manager, and the mod is installed. That's simple. Now, the reason you would use the website instead of using the app itself is, you go back to the app, you'll notice, let's go online, find Enforcer. It has a short little blurb here, and that's all that it has. On the website, though, you scroll down, you can have screenshots and a lot more information than what you get just from the app. Or you could just use a combination of the two and use the app and view on website. And it'll pop it up here. But I use the website to just search and do it all in one go instead of having to navigate back and forth. And I can also just center click things and open them in other tabs and just bulk install everything in order. But yeah, that's the second way and why you go about doing it that way if you want it. So now we have the basic mods that we need, which these 3 are typically all you'll need, but some mods will require other libraries and other APIs. You can download any mod, same way. Like, it's filtered by category. Player characters, apply. And then you have all of these. This is not a player character, this is just an ability, but anything that's under that umbrella will be under these, like Starstorm 2. Adds player characters and overhauls the game a bit. Starstorm 2 is one of the best mods for Risk of Rain 2, and I highly recommend it. Now I'm going to show you even easier mode. Alright, so you can go to settings. Let's say you have friends who want to play modded Risk of Rain 2 to you, and they don't want to go through the tedium of having to manually find every mod you have and download it themselves. Well, you can go to settings, profile, and export mod as code. You can also export it as a file, but code is a million times easier. So, export profile as code. It will copy it automatically to your clipboard, but since I'm paranoid because Windows is Windows, just highlight, Control-C to copy, and you know for sure it is on your clipboard. But I have a code from another profile that has since been deleted. So these codes persist even after the profile no longer exists. Keep that in mind. So no code will ever technically expire to my knowledge. Then once you have the code, you can go to change profile, and there's 2 things you can do. You can either import a new profile entirely, or you can update an existing profile. If you go to import new profile, you can import from code or file if you want that route, but code is easier. Import, and here you go. The name of it is tutorial 2. Create, and boom, select the profile, and once you look at that, all the mods that were in the profile have been downloaded. And it will do that for every code regardless of how many mods you have, though obviously the time it takes will take a while. Now another thing that the code import does that's nice is it also imports your custom configuration files. Like, you can go to config editor to edit these files, like edit config, here's the UI. Nice, simple. I love this, it's almost idiot proof. Now, once you launch the game with your mods, it will generate the config files that you can then edit yourself however you please. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because your friends won't have to edit theirs either. Or in the case of my channel, where I do Let's Plays of this game modded, every time I do a new episode, I will get an updated code of my mod list because it changes from time to time due to some mods becoming deprecated, not working, things like that. And I will put it in the mod list of the description of my videos. So if you want to use my particular mod list, you can do that. The codes will never expire. They're always good. And I typically use character mods like, Paladin or Starstorm 2, where it adds others, things along those lines. So you can do that as well. Now, the other way, profile, I'll just go ahead and walk you through since it's simple. Change profile, delete, and import update. And you will update an existing profile. Whatever you have highlighted will be overwritten from code. And again, import the code. It tells you it will be overwritten, then update. Go to the profile, and there you go. Updated 100% exactly like the one that I deleted earlier. Yeah, it's that simple. getting it all set up with the mod manager's easy mode using the code is what I call super easy mode. And that's really all you need to know to get the basics of modding Risk of Rain 2. You can adjust your load order if you like, which I do. I'm also a Fallout modder, so load order is important for me in that aspect, but I don't think it's actually important for Risk of Rain 2. So don't worry about it if you don't want to, but if you do, I would generally organize it in categories and just make sure that like the dependencies and the APIs and patchers and such are at the top of the list. At least that's general modding practice for a lot of things. But that all aside, thank you all for watching. I hope you learned from the tutorial, hope you enjoyed it, whatever. And if you're enjoying your stay, enjoyed the tutorial, like, comment, subscribe, any combination of those things. It feeds the algorithm, and maybe someday if it's fed enough, YouTube Senpai will notice me. This is Bearadactyl signing off, and I'll see you all later.